Hey, it's Bri, and I have a story for you. So, if you've been on my channel before, which I'm sure you have because I'm so awesome, then you know that I used to be a liar, a scammer, a messy bitch who lives for drama. Like, this is not, I mean, come on. Yeah, and if you haven't been on my channel before, you might as well go ahead and click that red button and subscribe right now, because I promise you, after this story, you guys are going to want to see Bri all the time. Every time I upload. Look, I don't even want to hear it in the comments. I know that I'm like, I'm done with story times. I'm done telling you about my life. But look, I had the idea to do this story time literally weeks ago. I cannot believe that this is a story that didn't already make it to YouTube. So here I am. I'm gonna give you guys the tea. Also, if you guys like my lashes, make sure to click the link in the description box below to figure out how you can add them to one of your bad bitch emergency kits today. I'm gonna tell you right now, my life is absolutely unbelievable. This story is not gonna be believable. Don't try this at home, because I promise you, you are not gonna have the same look as me. I'm just that girl. Let's just get into this story. So this story time, the first part of this story time has to have take place in like 2014, 2015. This is when I was in the peak of my scamming. I was greedy. I didn't want a job. I wanted to be famous for no reason. I felt like entitled. I felt like, why should I work? Girl, I felt like I was like walking undiscovered talent.
Hello, you've reached the house of unrecognized talent.
I was the next Beyonce. People just didn't even know that I was the next Beyonce. That is literally what fueled my sugaring. Like, I didn't want to ask anybody for anything. I got tired of being dependent on my auntie. And yeah, I wanted to be independent, and I wanted to get it the fast way.
Yeah, that way.
The first time that I met this sugar daddy, I don't even know if I should call him a sugar daddy, or if I should call him like prey, because I was preying on these men. Like, I wanted the coin. Like, they wanted to get laid, but I wanted the coin. I met him off of like my very successful Catfish profile. Now, please understand, because some of y'all message me and email me about like my sugar daddy story times, and it's like, I don't think that you guys understand that like these story times are from 2015. Like, seeking arrangement wasn't shut down. Like, now when you try to go on seeking arrangement, it's like so weird. Like, this was before that. I think I needed to say that, because if I didn't say that, that would make this story like even less believable. And I already told you that this shit is pretty unbelievable, right? First of all, I feel like it's appropriate for me to go ahead and have a moment of silence for my Catfish profile. Like, we need to give this bitch her flowers, because not only did she give me money, not only did she buy me a car, but she skyrocketed my YouTube career. Lady whose pictures I stole on the internet, thank you so much. Like, where would I be without you, bitch? You know me. I'm not gonna lie to you. At this point in my life, I was already scamming. Like, but here's the gag. I wasn't scamming like big time. Like, I was doing smaller increments that would add up, which means that I had to like really scam a lot of people, right? Because I would be getting like $300 over here, $500 over here, $150 over here, $250 over here. Like, smaller increments that had to add up to what I was really looking for. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. So this particular sugar daddy that I'm talking about, that I catfished, girl, he was the golden child. And I say that for multiple reasons. This sugar daddy right here that I'm gonna tell you guys about today, he, like, my mind was made up that I was officially a sugar baby after I scammed him. The first time that I catfished him, 2015, I'm already like seasoned. I know what to say. I know how to get to the money. And the thing that I really loved about myself when I was like catfishing, when I was scamming, is that like, if they wasn't trying to talk to me about money, I knew how to exit stage left. And for some reason, that would always make them want you more. Like, if you were like, look, I'm used to getting gifts, I'm used to living this kind of lifestyle, this is not what I'm accustomed to, I'm about to exit stage left. If your pictures were fire enough, bitch, they would be like, look, you could be fake, but you too fine, I'm willing to take that risk. I'm willing to lose $300, bitch, because these pictures are too fire. Here's my thing, like, the first time I catfished this guy, I was so nervous because I like to work, like, domestically. And what that means is I like to catfish guys, like, I used to like to catfish guys, like, not in the state of California, but within the United States. And if you guys remember my story time about scamming sugar daddies for money, I'm pretty sure, I haven't watched that video in a while, but I'm pretty sure that I said that there was this one guy who I scammed who looked like the Mr. Peanut Man, like, or the Monopoly Man. I think that's what I said. After I scammed him out of $500, like, it was just a wrap for that account. I still to this day believe that the sugar daddies around that time were like all together on this website or on this forum where they were like, okay, this person's real, this person's not real. Like, because I mean, think about it. Like, if sugar babies come together for advice on how to scam these guys have to come together for advice on how to not get scammed. It just seemed like every guy who I was messaging, every guy who I was talking to in the United States, the jig was up. Like, they just knew what was up with me, and it just started to get really, really bizarre. So I started to look outside of the United States. I started to look in, like, South Africa, Sweden, Thailand, Vietnam, stuff like that. And I'm telling you, like, the well was running dry. I cannot put emphasis on that enough. Like, and you guys gotta understand, it was such a shock to me because I was making money. Like, it was to the point where, like, people would come up to me in real life and they'd be like, oh my god, like, Brianna, I have all these bills, like, can you show me how to catfish, can you show me how to scam? And I would just be sitting there like, bitch, who told you that I was even doing this? Here's the ironic thing. I'm searching internationally for my next victim, and this guy willingly, on his own accord, messages me. You know what it was? It was the boobs. Like, the catfish that I had, like, the girl who I used to catfish as, she had
big boobs. What?
And this was before, like, lip fillers. So, like, she looked very Caucasian, very, like, Minnesota, very, like, farmers only meets porn star kind of vibe. Like, she was that perfect Caucasian queen. This dude was basically in his first message telling me that he wanted to fly me out to, like, Taiwan or wherever he was at. I was like, oh my god, this guy sounds like he knows what he wants. And those were the kind of people that I was preying on. I was trying to catfish people, or I had, like, my feelers out for people that knew what they were looking for. Someone who made up their mind, like, okay, I want to be a sugar daddy, I want to do this, this is the lifestyle. If you were not serious, if you didn't know, if you talked more about, like, intercourse and what I could do for you than what you could do for me, like, conversation was over. But this guy was coming off the bat, like, making it clear to me what my expectations would be if I was his sugar baby. And girl, like, it sounded so good. I wanted to morph into the bitch myself. Like, honest to God, like, what he was offering, $10,000 a month. I wanted to message her myself and be like, look, I don't know if you into this lifestyle, but I found this Chinese dude and let's go 50-50. Let me tell y'all why I was scared to do this story time. Because I personally feel like you guys are gonna find it so funny. After I get the message from this guy, he tells me what the monthly allowance will be, and he offers to fly me out, all of that good stuff. I immediately moved the conversation from seeking arrangement to texting. So I had to get WhatsApp to talk to this guy. Clearly, obviously, he doesn't live in the United States of America. Now, the conversation was cool, but because it was so hard for me to, you know, get more prey, if that makes sense. Like, think of this as like, I'm a polar bear and this is global warming. So I see that this guy is like a fat, plump seal and I'm going towards the seal. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, bitch, when am I going to find a seal again? That was like so horrible and it hurt my spirit to use that analogy. Shout out to all the polar bears. Like, I hope they eating well. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I was in desperation mode. I told you guys that I was used to finessing multiple people at one time to get a larger amount of money. So this was just bizarre. Not only that, but during like the texting and going back and forth, he's telling me about his wife. He's sending me pictures of his wife. He's sending me pictures of like his children, his birthday celebrations. To be honest with you guys, I wasn't even texting him. I was texting his assistant because his English was poor. Because now that I'm telling the story, I'm thinking about like how when we were texting, like one of the conversations was like, well, when you come out here, like, are you gonna feel uncomfortable because I can't really speak your language? Like, we're gonna need a translator. And I was just saying whatever I needed to say to secure that bag. But within the conversation, he started showing me his gun collection through his personal assistant. I mean, it was levels to it that my guilty ass conscience was really trying to like, okay, I am not trying to have my IP address traced and get shot the fuck up. Like, that's literally where my mindset was, which is why, like, I waited years, even after my channel was booming, to tell this story, because I'm like, who, even to this day, I'm like, who was that guy? Because clearly he had money. He could have traced my IP. He didn't, or maybe he did. I don't know. I miss those times where you could just, like, catfish somebody out of, like, $500. And I kind of miss it. It was simpler times, you know. I don't know what it's like to be doing, you know, the catfishing today. Let me know in the comments below. But I don't really think it's as profitable as it used to be. Even though this guy gave me the heebie-jeebies a little bit, I still was saying whatever I needed to say to secure that bag, because like I said, I didn't have no other options. I definitely communicated with him or with his personal assistant all the way through until I got the money wired. And I got my best friend to take me to a check cashing place, and he basically Western Unioned me. So I gave him my real name, I'm telling you guys, like, it was just so many levels of like how paranoid I was, but I was still willing to secure that bag. Like, it doesn't make sense to me now, but at the time it really did, because it's like, bitch, if you really thought your life was in danger, like, you would have died over $1,000. That's how much he sent me. That was the most money that I had ever made in my catfishing scheme at once. In one time. That was the most money that I had ever made. And then on top of that, I was kind of feeling myself, because it was like right after I sealed the deal and got him to send me the confirmation that he wired that money, I started to get other like little sugar daddies back that wanted to give me $250, $1,000. I was like, oh my God, like, he has restarted my career. He's put the pep back in my step. So yeah, that was pretty much the first time I scammed him. I was paranoid, don't get me wrong, especially because like that was the first person I talked to that was sending me weapons. That was the first time that I actually catfished him. I wasn't new to this, I was true to this at that time, but that was like a really, you know, it was such a fresh experience for me, and at that time it was the most money that I had made at once. So that's really why this story sticks out to me so much, because it was such a fucking gold mine for me at the time. And you know, not only, I don't know, like, the fact that I struck gold twice is just insane to me. So let's talk about like the second time I catfished this fool. I catfished him years later, like literally 2 or 3 years had went by, and I was in a place of destitution. Like, I was actually homeless at the time. This was a completely different chapter in my life. Like, I went from I'm catfishing out of greed to I'm catfishing out of like basic human necessity. Like, I don't even know, I need this money so I could get a hotel, so I could have somewhere to fucking sleep. Like, that's where my mentality was this second time that I catfished this guy or finessed. And it actually kind of makes me sad that the tone of the story goes from like, haha, yeah, we getting money, our pockets never hungry, to like, yeah, bitch, I needed to shower. So many people reported my account because I catfished so many people all over the nation that they suspended my account, but then they told me that I could still get into it if I paid a membership. Now, I'm not going to pay a membership off of a website that I was getting hella money off of. So I just decided to make a whole new profile. And this time I wasn't blonde. Like, this time I wasn't going for like, I don't want to word it like that, so I'm not even going to say that. But this time I was going for like a very college girl aesthetic, someone that was more similar to what my real circumstance was. So like, just like, you know, like a brunette girl that like clearly looks like she's in school. She has this schoolgirl aesthetic, like, but I still made sure that I chose someone who had like thirst traps. Like, they had the content, they had that like girl next door look. That's what I was going for with the second profile. I know that I sound so crazy because I'm really breaking down to you like my thought process behind like getting this money, but if you're gonna do anything, I suggest that you have a game plan. I remember the second time that I scammed this sugar daddy very, very vividly because I was fucking homeless, like I said. This particular day, I was sitting in the library, girl. The library. And I was not a college student. I was at a public Los Angeles library. And I remember that at the time, I would spend all day in the library. Like, it was actually really sad. Like, I would spend all day in the library charging my laptop, just trying to find somebody that I could catfish for money. And oh my god, like, I'm literally having an epiphany because I'm telling this story and in the back of my mind I'm like, wow, that's how the universe works. Like, karma is real, baby. Like, I got my karma and I got it quick because y'all don't know, I was working 8-hour shifts, talking to these guys, getting on the phone with these guys. I wasn't even using text free. I was so desperate. I was using my real number, really trying to alter my voice, really trying to like be this person that honestly, being homeless was taking all my energy, bitch. I didn't even have the energy to play this role. When this guy messaged me again on my new profile, it was like, I remember being in the library, looking at my computer like, damn, for real? Like, I couldn't believe that he was still on the website. I couldn't believe that he was still sending the same message. Like, this dude wanted love for real. And I'm not gonna lie, like, the second time I did feel guilty, and the second time I did feel like the risk was so much higher because, bitch, I still had the same ass 2012 MacBook, okay? I was still operating off like the same IP address. I'm 99.9% sure. I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, if I could just get $1,100. Like, I was trying to up the ante, if anything. I was like, I know for a fact I'm gonna get $1,000 out of this guy, but I'm gonna try to finesse and get more than that because I was low. My pockets was very hungry at this time. When he messaged me again on my new profile, he literally sent me the exact same message that he sent me in 2015. I knew that I wasn't talking to him. I knew that I was talking to his personal assistant. All he had to do was send that message, and I messaged back, when can you fly me out? I need to renew my passport and I'm gonna need fees for that. I knew that he was gonna send me the $1,000 in advance, but I gave him a reason for why I needed that $1,000. Like, I'm ready to go, but you're gonna have to renew my passport and da-da-da-da. Girl, here's the catch. Here's what he was telling me. He was like, I usually like blonde women, but there hasn't been any blonde women. Mind you, my new profile is brunette. So he's basically asking me, like, when I fly out there, if I was willing to be blonde. Whatever you want, sir. Whatever you need. Like, boy, I know I can provide. Like, whatever you need, I'm going to be that. Whatever you want me to say, I'm going to say that. How soon can you Western Union this $1,000 though? I was on that tea, honey. Like, I was like tunnel vision on that $1,000. I feel like the second time that I interacted with this sugar daddy again, it was just so much smoother. It was so much faster. And in real life, that probably wasn't even the case. Like, I still had to build up a relationship. I still had to show this guy that I was a real person. And like, side note, the reason why I was so successful at catfishing, I was way better at catfishing than being a actual sugar baby myself, because I don't have a problem talking to people. Like, I like talking to people. I like getting to know people. And that's how I was able to succeed how I succeeded when I was a catfish, because I would build emotional relationships with these people. Like, I would text them day in, day out. If the girl posted something on her Instagram story, if the girl posted anything on Instagram that aligned with what the story was that I was telling my sugar daddy, I would steal it and I would post it. If she was on her story in the car, I would screen record it and send it to him and just be like, oh, thinking about you. It was little stuff like that that I really feel like solidified or sped up the process, because I mean, by the time I catfished this guy again, I was way more seasoned. I was desperate, so I was pulling out like my best tricks, and I was just, when you need your needs met, you're gonna do what you need to do to get your needs met, and I was just savage with it. That's how I was able to catfish him twice. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's just what it is. How many other people did he just randomly send $1,000 to? If I was able to catfish him twice, imagine how many other people were able to catfish him. If anything, I wish I had to catfish that fool like 3, 4 times, 3, 4, 5 times. Like, why not? With that being said, that's how I catfish the same sugar daddy twice, bitch. If you guys like this story, go ahead and turn that thumbs up blue. Support your girl. Get those fingers moving in the comments below and let me know what you guys want to see from me next. Let me know in the comments below what your 2 cents are on this story, because bitch, when I decided that I was going to tell this story again, I was just like, they're not even going to believe this, but I don't care because I know my life. With that being said, I love you guys and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.